Reading the names of the 692 homicide victims in Chicago, Illinois in 2022 from last to first. Rayford Sidbury, Sylvester Gilmore, Ryan Washington, Lamar Holmes, Antoine Sadler, Laquan Smith, Muhammad Ishau, Alexis Wesley, Frank Lamardo Jr., Angelo Quiones, Brian Jesus Toledo Gavilanes, Marcus Robinson, Darius Quan Finley, Tyrell Storms, Raul Cabrera, Sterling Ronell Harris, Darian Neal, Verdale Odom, Nathan Villegas, Brandon Perez, Penny Gonzalez, Kimberly Campbell, Sean Boone, Jonathan O'Neill, Benjamin O'Neill, Mark Lee, Christopher Loggins, Ben Collins, Eric Harrell, Ricky Vera, Mario Pozuelos, Mercedes Tavares, Felicia Cortez, Paul Christman, John Marazwak, Marlon Dwayne Hughes, Rommel Avila, Naima Folks, Christopher Willett, Kelvin Mosley, Brittany Wooten, Wilbertina Thomas, Curtis Hardman, Giovanni Jenkins, Kevin Davis, Cordero Locke, Christopher Lewis, Marcus Joyner, Kamel Jones, Clarence Williams, Xavier Lofton, Lorenzo Celeste Eford III, D'Angelo Dean, Orrin Kegler, Jason Benitez, Zamarian Bledsoe, Almonte Kaiser Jr., Quintine Carradine, Stacy Hill, Jonathan Lewis, Jared Lewis, Gerald Bonner, Juan Ruiz, Kristen Carr, Kianis Langston, Randall Roby, Robert Davidson, Jahari Clark, Tremaine Larry, Sherilyn Wendy Mao Savaz, Reginald Davis, David Ruffin, Leonard Tyrone Hawkins, Ruby Navarrete, Michael Hentz, Quentin Branch, Todd Brown, Kamar Edwards, Joshua Johnson, Salvador Chavez, Michael Cruz, Michaelia Castaneda, Chris Head, Trevia London, Michael Lawson, Mario Curas, Terry Lowe, Hector Negron, Marshawn McLennan, Nassan Hill, Ali Hassan, Nicholas Williams, Javonta Wells, Rodney James Strong, Bryant McNeil, Shannon Thompson, Michael Foley, Armando Bautista, Travail Robinson, Jason Morris, Salvador Huerta, Arsen Salaqua, Deshaun Jackson, Karen Arterberry, Justin Jones, Larry Anderson, Anthony Davis, Raymond Bonds, Maurice Timberlake, Derek Booker, Pierre Riley, Stephanie Gutierrez, Maurice Johnson, Juan Castro Jr., Lamont Johnson, Anthony Sims, Davian Bradford, Rakisha Kig Tiggs, Tyler Malik Moore, James Allen Hayes, Akeem Briscoe, Deshwana Maineka Threat, Rafael Zavielta Baradas, Isaac Jameson, Duwan Gaddis, Jaden Hines, Timothy Pecker Jr., James Fisher, Trinidad Anthony Vasquez, Andrew Bowens, Christian Alva, Calvin Christopher Sidney, Carlos Rivera, Joshua Stokes, Rishan Hendricks, George Luis Lozada, Carl Hall, Darius Davis, Barry Newsome, Terrell Morton, Ramon Tyree Randolph, Ellis Hamilton, Bryant Johnson, Salim Kamo, Gerard Thompson, Cordero Allen, Elijah Addison, Eddie Boyd, Ian Burke, Sterling Wilkins, Mac Brown, Jocelyn Shaw, Oral Woods, Lavelle Winslow, Jacoby King, David Flowers, James Jones, Curtis Gatewood, Joshua Quixie, Daniel Ornelius, Julian Nelson, Artemis Harris, Edward Roberts, Joseph Jackson, Fernando Vega Diaz, Sol Stephen Hicks IV, Jelani Land, Timothy Coleman, Jem Newson Brown, Casey Rodriguez, LaParish Brown, Marquise Lewis, Mateo Zastro, Lamar Bell, Darren Peoples, Amparo Guzman, Ernest Harris Jr., Ivory Robinson, Terrence Young, Terrence Johnson Jr., Troy Marshall, Kennard Millsap, Eric Ocampo, Taylor Griffin, John Park, Carly Draper, Shakita Carr, Carleem Nelson, Docwayne Jackson, Devontae Stedman, Hector Pilato Cota, Marvel Ward, Darius Hollings, Denzel Jordan, Josiah Brown, James Lyons, Christian Holtz, James Harris, Clarence Maxey Jr., Randy Powney, Sean Douglas, Jose Jalapa, Dyshawn Jones, Michael Turan, Christian Childs, Henry Bodie, Jose Martinez, Reginald Winslow, Lamont Clay, Lionel Coward, Anthony Oliver, Khalil Denny, Rashawn King, Eric Ray, Arian Washington, Perry Anderson, Andre Deal, Luis Delgado, Christopher Taylor, Kanye Perkins, Christopher Hicks, Michael Johnson, Andre Williams, Jacques Craig, Cliff Blackman, Douglas Livingston, Michael Burns, Jonelle Presley, Philip Hildenbrand, David DeVoe, Jason Mundo, Ronald Thomas, Rashawn Selman, Maurice Primus, Anthony Vivians Jr., Jarvis Jones, Marcus Collins, Theodis White, Jalen Brownlee, Marcus White, Cadavian Jones, Oscar Martinez, Shanita Fennell, Desmond Radcliffe, Mauricio Bonilla, Devonta Howell, Marcel Johnson, Marcel Patrick, Talia Ivbry, Devin McGregor, Kenneth Rufus, Matthew Mack, Kevin Williams Jr., Cinque Dunn, Randall Wilson, Philippe Santiago, Christopher Kilgore, Aisha Lewis, Jezebel Perez, Khalil White, Demetrius Ivory, Jeremy Walker, Anthony Fitch, Christopher Shaw, Luis Rodriguez, Larry Cooper, Clyde Torres, Brandon Johnson, Keith Bryant, Justin Griffin, Michael Esperanza, Benjamin Ortega, Jose Morales, Anthony Monzon, Melissa Mondi, Takara Tunstall, Anil Paul, Andre Smith Jr., Anthony Binion, Jeremy Macon, Jimmy Lee Thompson, Brian Baltazar, Deshaun Marcuste, Kenneth Early, Creighton Saffold, Faustino Bahina Flores, Angela Zamiran, Vincent Antunes, Juan Nandi, Gloria Smith, Maurice Hart Jr., Terrence Hampton, Romanas Azurago, Duante Moon, Deontay Winfrey, Johnny Crockett Jr., Omar Polk, Claudio Ramirez, James Walter, Kwamari Benson, Frederick Dunn, Paris Royal, Tamika Birch, Francisco Ramirez, Kenyatta O'Neill Jr., Irving Ibanez, Anthony Gordoa, Christian Martinez Ordaz, Brian Ballard, Rashad Pittman Green, James Wilkins, Brian Creed, Eric Edward Nolan, Amari Willis, Dion Young, Tyvon Henderson, Davian Wilder, Kenneth Bradley, Dominic Williams Sr., Roosevelt Harris, Shania Daniels, Daryl Hull, Darren Minar, Sean Brown, Huberto Rosales, Ruben Willis, Tyshawn Crawford, Elshad Scarsborough, Carlos Villagomez, Jose Gonzalez, Larry Coleman, Denzel Walker, Prince Kashaw, Jose Gonzalez, Kwan Jones, Draquan Johnson, Darren Wilson, William Irving, Sanaya Khan, Charles Millette, Alexander Johnson, Robert Owens III, Joshua Hollins, Sakura Hurd, Eric Peoples, Mary Kinsey, Daryl Harris, Corey Williams, DeVell Sims, Carlos Carter, Leon Teague, David Clay, Dilshan Cotton, Marquel Newman, Charles Brown, Sean Raymond, Ryan Todd, Bobby Jones Jr., Carl Boone, Tabitha Tanner, Giovanni Flores, Caesar Shears Jr., Anthony Mendoza, Charles Triplett, Nortaniel King, Justin Williams, Arvon Bradley, Juan Alanis, Demarcus Baberi, Dwayne Peterson, Dorian Latrell Jones, Michael Johnson, Darnell Trotter, LaShawn Dupree, Dewan Bates, Michael Charles Davis, Tierra Franklin, Darian Ross, Jennifer Medrano, Keishon Roberts, Isaiah McCullough IV, Sean Neal, Mario Leyva, Lawrence Longstreet, Norvell Meadows, Kajari Harshaw, Vincent Hernandez, Patrick Holmes, Jeremiah McDaniel, Amy Brown, Marcos Diaz, Yazid Abanajun, Christian Beemans, Cecilia Thomas, Edward Golston, Ahmad Martin, Kashana Love, Jose Casarubias, Ricky Lee Rush, Deshaun Harris, Nikki Connor, Stephen Perkins, DeMarco Millette, Jackton Ball, Huey Granberry, Jacob Willard, Quantes Sim, James Brooks, Frederica Coleman, Ronald Wiley, Baron Jones, Dion Norris, Akava Petway Moody, Justin Collins, DeAnthony Purvis, Desmond Dean, Raphael Dogan, Robert Martinez, Mario Clemens, Laren Powell, Vincent Barnes, Alexis Pedraza, Michael Matthews, LaShondra Phillips, Quentin Hassel, Tashawn Holliday, Isaiah Bolding Jr., Tristan Hamilton, Val Civils, Leon Holton, Keontae Haiti, Vincent Sanchez, Gregory Dobbins, Imani Adetalib, Deontay Hall, Jose Garfias, Stephen Smith, Malik Adams, James Santiago, Juan Gonzalez Ramirez, Antonio Tolliver, Ernie Kirkland, Alan Bell, Hanif Abdullah, Latrone Tate, Bobby Farmby, James Lewis, Daniel Smith, Terrell Pittman, Stephen Williams, Deontay Allison, Khalil Austin, Tamario Boughton, Jeremy Benson, Eloy Renteria, Cliff Manning, William Ramson, Derek Washington, Lawrence Richardson, Thomas Jones, Alexander Dumas, Carl King, Joseph Cromelis, Brandon Foley, Nicholas Ostheimer, Bruce O'Neill, Rashawn Johnson, Devontae Smith, Darren Jackson, Cortez Barber, Antonio Wade, Anthony Allen, Cliff Williams, Kiasha Truitt, Cedric Miles, Bernardo Gomez, Brian Henderson, Justin Gamino, Amy Bustos, Elvis Sanduto, Emmanuel Scott, Alan Woodard, Shondell Holliday, Jalen Mims, Nicholas Kockenberg, Antonique Alexander, Turan Taylor, Jessica Castro, Jer Buford, Jessica Hudson, Renato Veljase, Eduardo Jimenez, Devil Jones, Antoine Guy, Marquita Davis, Charles Mundane, Jaarian Huddleston, Brandon Slater, Larry Purnell, Michael Conrad, Melanie Joyner, Marianne McCoy, Edwin Gomez, Jamarian Loston, Gerald Watkins, Gilbert Hernandez, Corey Finley, Shondell Gentry, Brittany Kinlow, Jalen Perkins, Kajon Carter, Charles Hudson, Tashana Anderson, Rodney Dwayne King, Kiera Carmichael Smith, Xavier Johnson, Jasmine Jones, Novellis Serge Jean, Antonio Bailey, Corey Mason, Jennifer Hamilton, Jaquan Sanders, Elijah Gallardo, Isaiah Robinson, DeLance Wilson, Gary Huff, Giovanni Alvarado, David Castile, Thomas Clemens, Vernon Clay, Alex Daniel Velasquez Quadrama, DeMonte Robinson, Antonio Hernandez, Tawan Carter, Moises Pulido, Tyrone Pittman, Malik Smith, Vicente Hernandez, Alan Williams, Christian Ruiz, Jermaine Waterman, Dakari Williams, Maisha Jackson, Asha Williams, Jeremy Hoskins, Sheila Banks, O.C. Banks Sr., Lee Carter Jr., Darius Sanders, Ryan Arliskus, Hayden Shavers, Nico Woods, Jesus Salivar, Jamal Owens, Dexter Flowers, Frank Campbell, Brent Cobbs, Arteria Riley, Thomas Riley, Reuben Riley, Reginald Walton, Devin Edwards, Kenneth Mickey, John Woodward, Juan Lopez Mendez, Nicholas Ortiz, Norma Hernandez, Carl Perry, Vincent Sandover, Marquez Blaylock, Hermio Beltran, Michael Corbett, Miguel Marchand, Aranis Jackson, Aaron Washington, Estevan Lopez, Alaya Newell, Deshaun Champion, Antonio Wilson, Rondi Hill, Craig Williams, Folashade Morty, Tatiana Whetstone, Kevin Change, Deshaun Thompson, LeBron Colin, Roger Lewis, Ashley Elliott, Michael Winston, Riddell Curry, William Payton Jr., Diane Nickerson, DeJuan Thomas, Selena Claiborne, Elijah Suggs, Tyrone Washington, Michael Miller, Odell Jones, Nigeria Moore, Badarian Knight, Zachary McLean, Antoine French, Flamond Williams, Paul Slaughter, Diego Demise, Azuena Vargas, Dontel Black, Marcos Beltran Serrano, Julio Inglesia, Darnell Hardy, Devontae Scott, Luis Mendoza, Stefan Black, Lucilius Lee Jr., Maurice Morris Jr., Devin Taylor, Timothy Steele, Jamarian Wales, Edwan Wilson, Jose Saucedo, Sincere Cole, Miracle Cotton, Janae McGowan, Paris Lawrence, Denzel Moore, Michael Brown, Sierra Robinson, Javian Johnson, Uriel Rogers Knox, Stephen Brown, Jacek Rudnicki, Matthew Robertson, Dontrell Walker, Atlanta Gibson, Ryan Belbag, Ronald Kopich, Gloria Binder, Erskine Binder, Bobby Johnson, Darius Mullins, Kevin Medrano, Linnell Taylor, Farthania Dukes, David Valadares, Gustavo Macedo, Leonardo Bautisto Jr., Ahmed Medeni, Stephen Mack, Deshaun Kennedy, Filbert Along, Hector Flores Jr., Mario Heath, Amanda Alvarez, Taft Wilson, Shannon Lofton, Latasha Fonville, Wayne Jones, Roderick Carroll, Jesus Brandt Jr., Melissa Ortega, Olaire Jones, Isaiah Hoskins, Arnelius Sneed, D'Antonio Jones, Lakshman Menon Neal, Caleb Westbrook, Jamie Davis, Jacoby Lard, DeMarco Straughter, Javian Rhymes, James Hatchett, Tamiko Talbert, Javian Ivy, Derica Patrick, James Sweezer, Philip Von Goodwin, Elizabeth Turner, Walter Hughes III, Donovan Duffy, Jeffrey Berner, Lanaya Murphy, Timothy Valinatos, Tremel Johnson, Pierre Rufus, Victor Martinen, Marcel Wilson, Tawan Dowd, Alan Jackson, Antonio Rankin, Susan Torres,